Right, it's time for the paper review. Now it's time for us to see what the headlines across newspapers in Nigeria are saying this morning. We have with us a TVC News senior researcher, Cyril Abaku, in the studio. Cyril, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
It's nice to see
Cyril,
you.
good morning.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the show this morning, especially concerning the, exciting piece of news that we just heard from Cyril Abaku.
Purely and entirely of the records.
Well, he just gave us exclusive
No,
news
it's
this
exclusive
morning.
to us for now.
Yes.
When the time comes, we'll let the people know.
We'll announce it. All right, we'll begin with the punch. Drama as workers shut down National Assembly, turn back lawmakers and say no alert, no plenary. Saraki Dogara gave clerk Friday ultimatum. Okay, the workers, they've taken this to the National Assembly.
It's a pity that
the symbolism of it is what is more troubling, for one.
Exactly. I mean, supposedly they hallowed the sanctuary of democracy that should arguably set the standard for all other institutions. But you see, the fact is that this is Nigerian society today for us, and self-help has become the new norm. Has become it. You have to fight for it. They are protesting over the consolidated salary structure and so on. And I think that the people who have the power to effect this is the National Assembly Management Committee, I think the NMC. But the workers have to target the Senate leadership, the National Assembly leadership, to put the pressure on the clerk, who has the NMC, to effect this change. Because I think it's been on since about 2012, promotion, salary backlogs, and so on. How on earth do you withhold promotion?
Well, it's quite troubling that even at the level of the National Assembly, you have these issues. Because one would think sad. That it's just only in the regular civil service.
So sorry, it's not just about paying these monies. There should be investigation. If there was fraud, if there was corruption,
Good point. 2019, Obasanjo Atiku seconders meet in Abuja. Court orders EFCC, DSS, police to arrest Dezani within 72 hours. Cloning fear of Buhari makes some people mad and desperate, says Oshibajo. Some people I've spoken with are even more concerned about the fact that the presidency thought it, necessary to actually respond to these claims of...
in faraway Poland.
Yeah.
I would have thought that they should have killed the monster the very day it seeped out. Because the fact is that, you see, politics does not thrive on truth and lies. It thrives on perception. So anything you can use to drive perception is important. Mike, personally, I've received at least 2 phone calls that lasted very long. People are asking me,
is it true?
Yes, want to know. If you tell me, I'll believe you. Is it really true that this is President Buhari or not? And then the people are asking me, are also asking me, because people are also asking them, so they're looking up to somebody to tell them. And I said,
so whether you work with the presidency or you work with the president.
I mean, you can imagine that. So I think it's important.
I got
the fact remains that Mr. President has said, I am real. This is me. And as a matter of fact, I'm marking my 76th birthday on December 17th.
Oh, yeah.
Gunmen attack SLK, 1 killed, several missing. You wonder how the late Bola Ige will be feeling now with this latest development there.
We hope that the police does it, because some people are still missing from the attack. I think a policeman was also injured and people fled into the bush.
Yes, and soldiers are still at the receiving end of Boko Haram terrorists in Borno and Yobe.
Okay, let's move to the next paper now. We're going to be expeditious with this. Tinubu to PDP, Nigerians will never return to Egypt. Buhari groups fixated, says PDP. Well, the back and forth thing is still on one way or the other. Everyone is still saying, well, let the campaigns for this year be based on issues. Forget about what the opponent is saying and all of that. A lot of people will say that.
It's a good thing that the season has officially opened. Fire your salvos as far as they're not dirty. But the fact, my little fear is that, you see, the faces of the APC, faces like Okorocha, faces like Amosun, who are even more APC than the APC, I don't know, but who are typically very APC, are now singing some sort of divergent tunes. So I'm wondering, in the end, how it will play out. Perhaps for the presidency, it could be different. But in certain places, it is becoming difficult to tell who is really the APC and who is another party.
All right. Looters shun Dubai from Morocco, Johannesburg, and Ghana. That's Ibrahim Magu of the EFCC is saying that. You know, the agreement signed between Nigeria and the UAE is yielding results from that window. So looters are now finding new havens.
Ibrahim Magu should stop the commentary on looters. We are not in a football match. We want action. Not all looters are on the run. Not all looters are out of Nigeria. There are big looters on our soil that should be gone after. So when we read papers, we are journalists, of course. When sometimes, I'm not a lawyer, okay, but I understand a little bit about how these things happen. When we see lawyers turn up in court and misprosecute, if there's a word like that.
Well, the point is, maybe what the acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, is trying to say, look, we need to begin to shift our attention from Dubai to Morocco, Joburg, and Ghana. Because that is...
Well, how many countries can you cover? Begin from
maybe
where
we
you
need
are.
some agreements or strengthen whatever agreements we have with
in
those
the
other
era,
countries.
in the years of Bacha and the others, we used to hear the word Switzerland and Scandinavian countries and all of that. So it is left for the agencies to trace all of that.
And then again,
Nigerians have paid their taxes and they want
exactly,
and they want results.
Another reason why we are concerned is that, you see, if we deal with looters properly at home, it serves as the deterrent. We've not done that enough.
Okay.
If you content analyze everything that Magu has been saying in the past 1 year, you find that he has been making this commentary.
Sorry, we could spend the whole morning talking about looters.
Let me just run through this. Workers shut down National Assembly over pay, and President renews pledge over release of Chibok girls, and Eagle to play 3 friendlies, and the government ASU talks inconclusive. And Small Doctor, 3 band men get bail. Remember Small Doctor, the musician.
The musician. All right, to the Daily Sun now. No pay, no sitting. National Assembly workers revolt, barricade complex over unpaid salaries and allowances. Why there's gang up against Buhari, Oshibajo says President has stopped grand corruption.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Hallelujah. Are you in agreement, or you don't think that
I mean,
President Buhari has actually stopped grand corruption?
The reason why I will be a bit careful is because we're in campaign mode now, and since I'm not a party member of any of the political parties, saying yes or saying no to anything will look like I'm supporting a particular interest. But the fact is that, you see, Buhari came on a particular promise. On a tripod, you know, corruption, security, economy. Some say that that the government has made some gains that Nigerians have not seen yet. Okay, Boko Haram, Mike, don't laugh. But Boko Haram, the economy, and which other one again?
Corruption,
agriculture,
and corruption. But I think that in all of these, the indices don't particularly tell us these same stories, from the poverty index to where we are on Transparency International and so on. So I think it's important that...
well, as far as this administration is concerned, the foundation is still being laid, and in no time, we'll begin to see the structure. All right. So moving on, Catholic Church disowns Mbaka on... okay. Well, Ndimba. Oh my. Anyway,
you want to go into all of that right now?
Can you imagine? Catholic Church disowns Mbaka on political endorsements. They're saying, look, we're not part of this whole, what they might want to call shenanigans.
Yeah, I think
maybe predictions and so on.
Up until Peter Obi's visit to that place, it could
and
have
his
been
statement
otherwise.
right in the presence of Peter Obi.
Yes, it could have been otherwise. But, you know, the videos went viral, and the backlash was not just on Mbaka. It was on the Catholic Church in Nigeria. Yeah. And I think that they are stepping in at this time is important. The fact is that there is no, I have not as at now found any preacher, any priest, any pastor who took up an active role in political issues, even by way of prophecy or predictions. That didn't.
Quite a number of them.
That didn't at some point.
Bakare is
of
there.
course,
he's been
yes,
speaking.
but that has not at some point taken up moral baggage or one controversy
or the other,
and that's not good for the gospel.
All right.
Okay.
It's all right.
2019 polls: Tinubu hits Atiku, ex-VP confused, directionless. That's according to former Lagos Governor. The Jagaban saying that. Okay. Well, the PDP has responded. They're saying APC is jittery. DSS quizzes Anambra factional speaker. Maduagu, contending speaker, presides at plenary. Okay, moving on.
This day is our next paper now. Again, Tinubu attacks Atiku, says he's not fit for presidency. APC leader, an incoherent politician, replies PDP campaign spokesman Afebwa. All right, still a back and forth thing. The federal government silent on non-release of $1 billion fund for military hardware. All right, we'll be talking about this later on the show. Buhari reiterates commitment to release of Chibok girls. NNPC, $800 million loss forced termination of oil pipeline security deal. INEC will remain firm on Zamfara. APC rejects claims of presidential pressure to rescind decision. You know that Zamfara will not be fielding any candidate, governorship and all the other candidates for the next election, as far as APC is concerned.
And we also saw the video where Governor Yari was publicly threatening purportedly threatening the national chairman of the party. What the APC can do is Yari can take a leaf, can borrow a leaf from what Amosu and Okorocha are doing. Look for one of these fringe parties, move their candidates there. After they win the election, God forbid, there shouldn't be crisis in the party, but if there is, then they can have defect.
Well, I guess that would be a good test of how popular those candidates actually are.
Ngozi,
that it would not matter what political platform
sometimes
they
it would
are you saying that the power of incumbency works and is so powerful that it gives almost ultimate assurance to anyone who is contesting in the state?
This thing is not cast in stone. We've seen it happen several times.
Okay.
But I think that, even if they wouldn't win, that may just be their own way of getting into the ballot once again.
All right. Oshimbajo, Shetima, El Rufai, others meet over APC crisis. Well, the crisis is still one thing people are analyzing and saying, well, it has to be resolved before going into the next election.
To our last paper, the Daily Trust, concern over delay in 2019 budget submission. Of course, people have been asking for some weeks now, where is the 2019 budget?
This thing shouldn't be so difficult. It's a fiscal year, okay? We've done it in 15 to 16. I remember when Buhari came in May, there was a supplementary budget that was sent to National Assembly, which I think was speedily passed. So 15, and then the 16, and then this budget for 2016, the one for 17, the one for 18. What haven't we learned from this process is to make sure that at least this last one, ostensibly this last one, doesn't go the same way. Because in the end, part of the reason why the National Assembly is delayed is the reason it's given for the delay in paying
the fact remains that the January-December budget cycle will continue to remain a mirage.
It's because the implementation, you see, implementation becomes a problem. And when you can't implement a budget, you can hardly deliver on your promises.
There you go. Buhari, Swiss president, moved to free remaining Chibok girls. Of course, the Chibok girls issue has come back to the front burner. It's obvious that this government actually sees or believes that the Chibok issue, just like a basket case, may be a negative factor come 2019?
Well, the point there is, at this point where we are right now, some of those Chibok girls would have had 2 or 3 children and all of that. Some of them would have bonded with their husbands and bringing them back right now. Some, in fact, we heard the last. No, certainly not. Certainly not. But the issue there is the girls that were the last group of girls that were brought back. We heard reports of some even wanting to go back to their husbands.
Stockholm syndrome.
Sambisa Forest. Stockholm syndrome, as the case may be. But government has to do everything within its own powers to bring back the girls first. If they decide to go back to their husbands, that's another level of things altogether. But bring back these girls and let us keep these things behind.
It should not be left to them to decide to go back to their so-called husbands.
What
they need to do is to, give them some kind of
to be debriefed,
and
then psychologically
exactly to make them understand that look, these people are a danger to you. They are robbing you of your future, and you cannot afford to even have any kind of sympathy for them.
But I do not know if this thing is classified, because personally, we've seen different various rescues. The other Chibok girls that came
Okay,
out of
we have to
captivity,
go now. We have to
didn't-
go now. The bottom column, court orders destruction of 14 containers of tramadol. Yeah, tramadol, codeine continues to be a real challenge. We'll have to leave it there. Cyril Abaku, thank you very much.
Thank you,
for joining
Cyril.
us
Thank
this
you, my
morning.
pleasure.
Yeah.